So the purpose of this video is to show you an example of exponential growth and actually to also translate from words into mathematical equations, right? So the second half of this really is to show you how to translate words into mathematics, right? So we're going to do some kind of a simple translation. All right, so let's get started with something that's kind of fun. Now, this example, we're going to start with 1 penny. Okay, so let's just say you went to your parents and you said, Mom, Dad, I would like to have an allowance, a daily allowance, right? But here's the deal. On day 1, we're going to start with 1 penny, and then I want you to double it every day. Okay, and maybe your parents will say, hey, that's a pretty good deal. I'll just go ahead and do that. So, day 2, you'd have, 2 cents. Day 3, you'd have, 8 cents. Day 2, you'd have 4 cents. Day 3, you'd have 8 cents, et cetera, et cetera. You just keep on doubling the previous day. And the question is, how many pennies, or what will your allowance be after 2 weeks, and what would your allowance be after maybe 3 weeks? Now, how could we figure this out? Remember, whenever we're doing algebra, I said it's a very visual language, and it's really about the XY axis, right? And we can always start gathering our data by using the T chart or a table, right? So let's just get started. So on day 1, let's just assume we start. All right, I'm going to call that 0 because we're starting, right, with 1 penny. All right, so that's our first number. So then after 1 cycle, we go through and we double the previous amount. Now we have 2. Now we'll go to the next day, right? And we're going to double that amount. So now we have 4, right? We go to the next cycle, if you want, the next day. We're 3 days in now. And now we have, 8 cents. Doesn't look like a great deal for you so far, does it? Your parents are probably loving it. After 4 cycles through, 4 days, now we have, 16 cents. Let's keep going. After 5, 32 cents. After 6, 64 cents. So let's see if we can represent this graphically, right? So here's my XY axis, right? And on this one, it's going to be on which day, right? So here's my start at 0. Day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are my days. And here are my pennies up here. Now, if I were to just graph these, because these are really just ordered pairs, aren't they? So this is actually just 0, 1, right? So 0, there's 1 cent. 1, 2, so 1, 1, 2. We'll make it right there. 2, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Day 3 is 8. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see what's starting to happen to my graph, right? It's starting here at 0, 1. And then it's climbing kind of rapidly. Okay? How can I write an equation that represents this growth? All right, so let's just see. Let's go back over here and see how we can maybe rewrite some of these. So I know that here is 2, and this is double, right? I can also rewrite 4 as 2 times 2, right? I can also write 8, since it's a doubling. I can just say it's 2 times 2, right? The previous day times 2. I can rewrite 16, right, as 2 times the 8, which I know is 2 times 2 times 2, again times 2 again. And you can see what's starting to happen here, right? It's growing by 2 each time. So 2 times a 16, which is this, and then times another 2. Now, in terms of writing exponentially, and this is where the word exponent comes in, I can actually just write this as 2 to the first power, can't I? This can be written as 2 to the second power, 2 to the third power, 2 to the fourth, 2 to the fifth. Now, the question, I guess, is how do you write 1 as an example of 2? Well, remember that 2 raised to any 0 power, any number, positive number raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. So actually, it does kind of fit our pattern, doesn't it? So the exponential equation would be y would be equal to, according to our data, 2 to the nth power, depending on which day you're going to be choosing, right? Now, if I wanted to write this as a function, remember you just replace the y with f of x. And you would, in this particular case, you'd say 2 to the nth power. And that follows the basic form of an exponential equation, right? Where we have a base and then the exponent is the variable that will actually change. Now, 1 second. I said that was the nth power, but remember when I gave you this, hold on, and it's just a number of days, right? But it really is whatever input you gave, right? So it's really 2 to the x. So as the x changes, that's what you would put here. So there's our equation. Now let's go back and let's answer our question, right? How many pennies will you have after 2 weeks, which is what, 14 days? So what I am basically saying to answer the first question, 2 weeks would be f of 14. My input, therefore, is 14. It's 2 to the 14th power. Now take out your calculators, and what is 2 to the 14th power? So after 2 weeks, your daily allowance is going to be $163.84, or 16,384 pennies. That's not bad. What is it after 3 weeks? You can see that your parents all of a sudden are going to start having a difficult time keeping up with your allowance, right? So we know that 3 weeks is what, 21 days. 2 to the 21st is equal to how many pennies? I'm going to leave that up to you to decide, all right? Did you make a good deal or not? I think you probably did. Okay. Hope that was helpful.